Obviously, I have to act strong because I mean, But the Saturday night when I got home, when I got to my room after updating my granny, yo guys, I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna. I even told my mom that if God that day was busy listening to Dimpo's prayer, man. When I got into my room and I called on his name, the Lord was like, Gabriela, not Gabriel, Michael, wait, this one is for me personally. I am going to attend to. Her voice is very familiar, but that tone, I don't know it. Hi everyone, I'm Amo, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, hello darling. Okay, sweetie, thank you for coming back. I have received a couple of heads up to say that I'm not loud enough in my videos. I'd like to apologize for that. So today I'm gonna try and be loud. I'm gonna try and be loud. Yeah. So I'll be making a story time, right? My hair, guys. My hair is not doing the things. I didn't twist my hair last night. Because I was so tired. So now it's not agreeing with me. It's not agreeing with me. But anyway, I'm gonna be doing a story time about my mom. So my mom caught the coronavirus, and I just want to make like a young story about that tricky time. Okay, so it was on the 25th of December, on Christmas Day. My mom started saying that she's not feeling well and whatnot. But like when someone says that she's not feeling well, we just think, oh, okay, probably just for today. Later on, you'll be fine. You're probably hungry. You're probably tired. Miguel is like, no, I'm not feeling well. Wara. Okay, sharp. You're just like, oh, okay, rest or whatever. You'll be fine. The 26th, she's still not okay. Like, even if you ask her what's wrong, she'll be like, no, my body's just tired. Like, okay. Your body's just tired. Do you have any symptoms of the coronavirus? She'd be like, no, I don't. I mean, I'm just tired. Like, oh, okay, sharp. Okay, rest. And then we go about our day. And then on the 27th, sis was still not okay. And this time it's getting like worse. My ring light just switched off. Anyway, as I was telling you guys the story, my cough is even cold. So, on the 27th, she was still not feeling okay, right? And now we're starting to worry, like, how Miguel, why are you not getting better? They got you all these pills and they give you all these home remedies and all of that. What's up? Because we were all at my grandmother's house, right? So as we're still at my grandmother's house, that's where like we were taking care of her, all of that. On my brother's birthday, the 28th, she was okay, right? She was fine. I'm like, oh, okay, it was just probably 1 or 2 days sickness, what. The 29th, she's worse. I'm like, okay, something is wrong. Something is really wrong. Now, like, I'm starting to panic because I have never seen my mother sick for more than a week. You understand? So now it's like, all you're saying is that your body is tired. No other symptoms, just that your body is tired. Nah, you know. Okay, the 31st, the first, and it's funny because on the first, she went jogging with me. So on the first she was okay. In the morning she was okay. We went jogging. If you did not see if you did not watch my jogging video, please go watch it. She was with me, right? And then when she got back, she was still fine. It's just that later on when she started cooking, that's when she was like, actually no, my body is not rooming with me. My body does not allow me to. Cool, fine. So now everybody's starting to panic, like, okay, what can we do? You know, what can we use or do that will make you feel better? And but nothing is helping, you know. So now it got to a point where she became like weak. So she would like move from the bedroom to the sitting room, and she would sleep in the sitting room instead of watching TV or whatever. She would sleep there. And then when you bring her food, she would just like nibble on it, like just chat. And then she'd be like, no, I'm full, or I don't have appetite, or you know. So after like from the sitting room, she goes back to the room. So it was just like, nah, man, no. That's not how it's supposed to be done, you know. Go get fresh air or something, you know. But it was just like, it was bad. So this other week she was like to me, I should come to our house because okay, our house is like 30 to 45 minutes away from my grandparents' house. So she's like, I must come back to our house to check is everything okay, because during the lockdown, that first few days, I think it was the 21 days, they broke into our house because they noticed that nobody's here. So we can't like spend a lot of time without being here. So she's like, no, go check if everything is okay at the house. So I came with my aunt. We came and we just chilled here for a couple of days. So I'm busy chatting to my sister. I'm like, how is she today? She's like, no, she went to the doctor, right? And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. That's okay. She's like, she went to the doctor. She's feeling much better. I'm like, oh, praise the Lord. You know, cool and fine. So later that same day, I text my mom. I'm like, how are you feeling? She's like, I feel worse. Worse how? Because I just spoke to Tenu and she says that you were better. She's like, yo, I am worse. I was feeling better a couple of hours ago because I went to the doctor. They gave me an injection and tablets and whatnot, and I was feeling better then. But now I'm feeling worse. I'm burning up. She was getting so hot, like she was burning up, and I'm like, sure. And I'm like, okay, so what did the doctor say? She says the doctor says that I have low blood pressure. Your low blood pressure is actually, it can be fatal. So I'm stressing about that, and I'm like, please eat this, drink lots and lots of water, do this, do that, you know, because I didn't know what to do. And he told me, no, you must do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, okay, sharp, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the Friday, I went back home, right? We went back to my grandparents' house. And when I get there, she was like, you could see that here things are not okay. It will end very badly here. So I'm like to her, why don't you go to the hospital? She's like, no, if I go to the hospital, I won't come back. And like, do you actually know what you have? Is it like low blood pressure? Because low blood pressure. And like, because you are drinking your medicine, but you're not feeling any better. So don't you want like a second opinion or something? She was like, no, if I go to the hospital, I won't come back. Hey. So now I'm stressing about that. Like, okay, if you don't go to the hospital, you might. If you don't go to the hospital, you might die here at home. If you go to the hospital, you might not die. You might, but you might not die. So let's give it a try. Go to the hospital, see what's wrong, and because now she wasn't eating at all. She had a bad attitude. Like now that we're talking about it and we're laughing about it, and she doesn't believe it when I tell her that she had a bad attitude. She was always tired. She was always sleeping. Jiggy, she's getting cold, like shivering. The sun is here. It's like 12 noon. It's hot in Limpopo, guys. But she was shivering like nurses. No. Jiggy, she's getting too hot. Like, it was just a mess. Do you know what I mean? It was a mess. And the tablets are not helping. They're bringing her this tablet. They're bringing her immune system booster, whatever they call those pills. They're bringing her this. They're steaming her. They're doing, like, nothing is working. And at that point, it was starting to get to me and my siblings, because that same Friday when I got home, was it the Friday? I got home on Friday. She told me that, and I left it alone, right? No, I didn't leave it alone. I left it alone actually. I kept it to myself that she says that if she goes to the hospital, wada. Sharp. Later that night, I'm sitting with my siblings, we're watching TV, and my baby brother is like the type of person that like hug me, hold me. Oh, like he's very like, we have a cat now. My baby brother just needed Batman. So now Batman does not want to move away from this thing. I tolerate him. So you can imagine. Anyway, my brother is like that type of person. Hold me. Like he's a very, is it like affectionate? Is it affectionate? Yes. So he wasn't getting hugs from my mom anymore. He wasn't getting the attention that he loves from my mom anymore. And that bothered him, Him being the type of person that loves mommy's attention. He's the last born also, so you can imagine. So he was not getting the mommy attention that he is used to. So he comes to the deputy mom, and he's like, I'm worried about mommy, But my baby sister, on the other hand, she's like me. My baby sister is more like me. She's not gonna tell you if something is wrong unless you ask her. She's not gonna like open up to you unless you can see that something is wrong and you ask her. So she was just keeping quiet. She was just like quiet. She was just low key. But I could see that something is wrong. She's not okay as well. This whole thing is affecting all of us. You know what I mean? My baby brother was like, I think, we were sitting, and then my baby brother is like, I miss how mommy would hug me. Mommy doesn't give nice hugs anymore. And if I hug her, she says that her body is sore. Or when I'm like, okay, you guys must just pray. So my family and I have this thing, you must pray, guys. Like, and that's the thing that I'm teaching my siblings. Like, in whatever situation, pray. So I'm like to them, you guys must pray. They're like, yeah, we do pray every night. I'm like, okay, sharp. And then later on, I thought we were done because my sister was sitting on this side and my brother on this side. I thought we were done talking about this thing because even me, I don't want to talk about it that much, My baby brother's like, hey, Anna, I think mommy's gonna kick the bucket. You can imagine how stressed I was. And now this guy is telling me that he thinks my mom is gonna kick the bucket, as in like she's gonna die. And I'm like, no, my mommy's not gonna kick the bucket. Mommy's not gonna die, Like there was that lump on my throat, but obviously I can't wanna break down in front of myself. I'm supposed to be like deducing them when they break down. So I'm just like, no guys, mommy's not gonna kick the bucket. You guys are gonna pray for mommy and mommy's gonna be well. I'm like, okay. But I did not want to ask my sister how she's feeling because I somehow knew how she's feeling. Her eyes were red. She now only tells us that she would go to her room and she would cry and then she would like wipe away the tears and be like, okay, and get out of the room. That's the type of person that she is, you know, like me. But anyway, the Saturday morning, my granny comes and she's like, hey, me, I'm really stressed about your mom. And I'm like, me too. And I'm like, Granny, do you know that she says that she doesn't want to go to the hospital because she feels like if she goes there, she's not going to come back. My granny is someone that if something is bothering her, she fixes it real quick. Like, she will get up and will go fix that problem. So after I told her, she gets up because she came and laid next to me on the couch. She got up immediately and she went to the room to go and face the problem. And she's like to my mom, what's wrong? Why, if you go to the hospital, you're not gonna come back? What? Also, we got to a point where we thought that my mom was depressed because all she did was sleep. She didn't eat. She bathed, but she didn't eat. She didn't laugh. She didn't do anything. She was just like sleeping, constantly sleeping. She bathed and wear pajama and sleep and. But I was even like, this lady must go out and go get fresh air because all she does is sleep. Anyway, my granny went to her room and she's like, sis, what's up? And I think she told her the same thing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me also go hear actually what's going on. Let me also go hear this story of hers and go try and convince her that, you know what, sis, go to the hospital. We get there, I get to the room, I hear my granny speaking and whatnot. So now this thing, it got me very emotional. So I'm like to my granny, I'm speaking to my granny, but I'm talking about my mom so that she can actually hear how I feel. And I'm like, no, I'm not happy. I get happy. Got this whole thing because she must go to the hospital, she must go feel well. They will help her with something. Or maybe that doctor misdiagnosed her, so she must just go for a second opinion. I mean, she's not getting better. All these things that we are doing at home, they're not making her feel better, so can she just go to the hospital? And she's like, I'll go tomorrow, which is a Sunday. Public hospitals do not, the doctors don't go to the hospital on Sunday, or that hospital in particular. So if you say that she'll go on Sunday, it means the doctor's not going to help her on the same day. Stress. I broke down and I'm like, what if Sunday you won't make it to the Sunday that you are talking about? And now I'm left with these two. Like my siblings, I love them with all my heart and everything, but I'm not yet ready to like take over mommy duties, guys. Oh. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, because what if tomorrow you don't even make it to tomorrow? Because the way you are so sick, I've never seen you sick for more than a week. I've never even seen you sick for a week, so this is new to us all. Please go to the hospital. This is just laying there. So my granny's like, go call your grandfather to come and try talk to her. I went to go call my, but then now my face I was sobbing. So I went to go call my grandfather. I'm like, Papa, can you please go talk to my mom and whatnot. So my mother is like a daddy's girl, literally. I had to change positions because now, because now my lighting, like guys, my thingy is off, my ring light is off, there's no electricity. Goober. Anyway, so I went to call my grandfather. I'm like, Papa, please come talk to your daughter, because now you're probably the only person that's gonna get through to her, you know. So my grandfather comes through, and my grandfather comes through and talks to her, And my grandfather's like, no, there's nothing we can do for you here at home. Go and check at the hospital. Maybe they will help you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. My mom got up and she went to go bath. And I'm like, sis, I've been trying to convince you to go bath so you can go to the hospital. But anyway, I'm glad your dad could convince you. So me, my grandfather, and my mother left. We went to the hospital. So at the security gate, they like, no, we only allow 2 people to get in. And since your grandfather is old, we advise that you go in with your mom and then she stays behind. He stays behind. I'm like, okay, Nisha, cool. I go in. Like, sis couldn't even walk properly. Just from the gate to the door, it was like a mission for her. She was so weak, and I'm like, oh Lord, Lord, come through for you, girl. We get there. It's a public hospital, so obviously you're gonna get help after $500 million hours. After 500 million hours. So we get there and they check our temperature, they write the note, they do whatever. We got there at 1:45, but she only saw the doctor at 5:30, and she got her results at 11:30. So you can imagine, that day I didn't eat in the morning because I woke up and I cleaned, right? So after cleaning, that's when this whole thing came about. So I just bathed and vibed. So and I wasn't even hungry for some weird reason. I had a lot on my mind, so food was not even there. So they told me, because at first I was chilling with her and whatnot, but as the place was getting fuller, they told me, no, I must go to the waiting area so that she can blah 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 blah. But we were sitting like at an angle from one another, so I could still see her. And I was so worried, and I was talking to my best friend for the first time in I think a week. And she's like, how are you? And I'm like, sis, actually, I'm not okay. She's like, what's up? I'm like, yo, I'm at the hospital now. My mom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. She's like, yo. Anyway, at that past 11, yeah, she got her results at past 11. So past 11, the doctor says that she has double pneumonia, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Whew. She says that they're gonna admit her. The results came through because they took like an x-ray thingy. The results came through, she has double pneumonia, so they're gonna keep her in and give her antibiotics or something, those drip things. They're gonna give her that. And she was shivering, because she was just wearing like a top. So she's like, can you guys go home and get me a blanket because I'm getting cold? And I'm like, okay, Nisha, I can do that. My grandfather and I go back, and when I get to the hospital, I'm like, where's my mom? I asked the security that were there. I'm like, where's my mom? She's like, and then the lady was like, oh, the lady that you were talking to with the blue. I'm like, yes, that's her. She's like, no, they took her somewhere. Go ask in that room, wara. So I go in there, I'm like, I'm looking for this person. She's not here. They're like, oh, okay, let me check for you. They checked, they're like, she's in isolation. And I'm like, wait, I know what isolation is, right? And I know why people go in isolation. But please explain to me why my mother is in isolation for double pneumonia. Just explain quickly, because I need to know why. They're like, no, she's in isolation, she's in the COVID ward. And I'm like, COVID ward, isolation. Where is that? They're like, you go straight, you turn left, there's gonna be a bridge, you jump that bridge, there's a ocean, swim, mountain, climb, left corner, that's where you're gonna find it. I go there with all these things that I have, and then I saw the security guard, another security guard, and I'm like, I'm looking for the COVID ward, and then he was like, oh, it's there, wada. I go in, And then those nurses were like, what do you have in the bag? I'm like, I have clothes, but the security said I'm not supposed to. Like, yeah, no, we have gowns, we have this, we have that. So basically all you can give is a charger and toiletries. And I'm like, okay, take the charger and toiletries, gay. You know? And they give her the thing, we go home. And I have to tell my grandfather, because he was in the car, I have to explain to him why I'm coming back with all these things. And I'm like, yo, Papa, she's in isolation. She's in the COVID ward. My grandfather's like, COVID? I'm like, yeah, COVID ward, Papa. Like, it was like, you know, that lump here, the one that you must cry, but not now. Not now, not here. You must know where and when to cry, you know? But the one there was it was here. I'm like, yeah, COVID ward, Papa. Yeah. So we fly home, and I think I texted my uncle that night because he was also calling on checking up what's what. So I text my uncle, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's like, oh, okay. Like the first time, personally, my uncle was like to me, you must pray. And I'm like, hey, I Shem, shubile, because my uncle saying that I must pray. No, just no good to know. Actually, we have reached our daily limit of strength. It's not there anymore. I equal strength. And I'm like, yeah, I will pray. I get home, I have to update my granny. Hey, mama, no. So she's in isolation, COVID ward. They took corona tests, so she's probably waiting for them there. She does not have corona. She's waiting for the results there. It was Saturday, so Sunday the doctor's not there, so that means that she's not gonna get the results on Sunday. But I forgot to give her the twin point plug, twin plug. I forgot to bring her the twin plug. So the Sunday I went there in the morning to go give her that, so that she can be able to charge her phone, so we can be able to communicate. So I go there, but then luckily she was sitting by the window when I passed, so I could see her. And then I greeted her there. I'm like, how are you? Obviously, I have to act strong because But the Saturday night when I got home, when I got to my room after updating my granny, yo, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I even told my mom that, if God that day was busy listening to Dimpo's prayer, when I got into my room and I called on his name, the Lord was like, Gabriel, Michael, wait, this one is for me personally. I am going to attend to. Her voice is very familiar, but that tone, I don't know it. So let me go there personally and go hear what is my daughter crying about, because guys. Anyway, Sunday I go there with my grandfather. We go give her the twin plug and I greet her and whatnot. Then we start chatting and I'm like, how are you? She's like, no, I'm feeling much better. The drip is helping me. I'm just waiting for the results. Fast forward, Thursday, she takes, so like the Sunday as well, when I got back, late at night, I pray again. I'm like, Lord, if there's one thing that you should please do for me, please keep her alive, that she gets out of that hospital, because she said that she's afraid that if she goes to the hospital, she's not going to come out alive. And if she does not come out alive, Lord, I'm not sure if I'll be able to forgive myself for pushing her to go. So do that one thing for me. The rest we will see it. Do that one thing for me. Keep her alive until she gets discharged. We're dealing with things one problem at a time. Thursday she texts me. She's like, can't pick me up. I'm being discharged. And I'm like, I mean, blessed be your holy name. Like, there is none like you. I tell my grandfather, I'm like, Papa, come. Let's go to the hospital. She's being discharged. But she's like, bring all my clothes. I guess she's been at my grandparents' house since Christmas. She's like, bring all my clothes. I'm going to my house. And I'm like, why is she going to her house? Well, she's sick. So I also pack my stuff. And I'm like, I pack my stuff, pack my stuff. stuff. And then I tell my grandmother that, oh mama, no, my mom says that she's being discharged, but she's going straight to her house. So yeah, I'm also gonna go. I mean, who's gonna look after her, you know? My granny's like, oh, you know, fine. I'm just glad that she's out. 1, 2, 3. She's feeling better. Helele, hololo. Great. And then I'm like, sharp. Oh, my granny was like, no, take your siblings with you, just so that you guys must keep her company and whatnot. Then I tell my people, hey, take your stuff. We are going. We go. I call my uncle and my aunt. They were in town, so I just wanted to know where, so that, you know. Yeah, they're like, no, we're not far from the hospital. I'm like, okay, sharp, I'll meet you guys there. Because I thought that my grandfather will leave with my uncles and then my mom will take her car and we leave. But it didn't work like that. But anyway, they were all there. And then when I went to go fetch her, I'm like, what's up, girl? She's like, what's up? And I'm like, okay, so what did the doctor say? She's like, the doctor said I'm positive. And I'm like, okay. Literally, it didn't register that she said that the doctor said I tested positive for coronavirus. In my mind, I'm like, girl, you are alive and you're getting out of this hospital. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Praise Jesus. That's what I'm dealing with right now. The rest, I will see it in a few minutes. Right now, I'm rejoicing for that. And then we take her out. We went to the cars, and she sees everybody. Hi, my siblings. Hi, mommy. Obviously, they can't touch her, they can't do anything, you know, safe distance, you know, all of those stuff. Cool and fine. So now she's telling them that, no, I tested positive, so I'm going to quarantine at my house, wara. And I tell my siblings, so you guys can't come. You guys must go back with Papa, go home to my grandmother's house, because she needs to be in quarantine. So you guys can't be out here. My brother is a very person, so he's probably gonna go and hug her in the morning and things are gonna get worse. So no, you guys are gonna live with Papa. And my uncle was like to me, so when are you putting your bag? I'm like, bro, who is going to take care of her? Who? Obviously I'm gonna take care of her, so I'm living with her. I mean, duh. Anyway, he's like, oh, okay, Neshab. So my aunt, my uncle, and my mom and we come to our house, and like, I wasn't even that stressed about this whole corona thing. I wasn't. I texted my best friend and I'm like, bro, she tested positive for corona. And then she calls me, she's like, Mati, that's what you must do. You must buy this tablets, you must do this, you must steam her with the... And I'm like, friend, just type all of those things down and send me a text, because now you are talking but I don't hear what you're saying. Like, you are talking, I don't hear what you're saying. Just write everything down so I can read them maybe when my head is calm and whatnot. Because when I got home, that's when I realized that actually no, man. This lady said that she has corona. So things could get worse from here, or things could get better. So either way, stop texting me. So either way is a mess. And corona is contagious, it's deadly, it's everything, and I'm here. But I did not think that I'm gonna leave her on. I just thought, no, the virus that we have been hearing about has entered my gates. It hits differently when it's someone that is close to you. And I'm like, okay. So that night I pray again. Obviously I pray every night and stuff, but that night I'm like, okay, Lord, thank you. First of all, that she came out of the hospital, she's okay, wara, she's feeling better than she went in. Thank you for that. So now here's another problem, Lord. She caught the virus, so can you please just heal her from that as well and protect me so that I don't get it while I'm trying to help her get better, you know, things like that, Lord. And day one, that night, actually, not to lie, that night I couldn't really sleep because every movement that she made in her room, I was like, what if she can't breathe? What if? Yo, it was hectic, you know. It was hectic. It was emotionally draining. It was physically draining. But anyway, day one, everything went well. The following day, I made her food, made her drink her tablets, made her this lemon water, ginger, whatever. I guess she must drink warm stuff, steam, make water to steam. I haven't sanitized myself. What am I trying to say? I've never sanitized that much in my life, actually, like I did in those 2 weeks. Like everything I touch, after everything I touch, I sanitize. Like my mask was always on. It was just a mess. It was like, my mom is here, but she's not here. You know, she's sitting there. I'm sitting there. But I was just thankful that it didn't hit her as hard as other people, because she could breathe on her own. She could do a lot on her own. It's just that she was still weak, and I think day 4 of this whole thing, she was already fine. She was fine. But then we were just steaming to be sure, and she was taking all her meds. She was even telling me that, for the first time in my life, I finished meds. I'm like, yeah, sis, that's corona. It will give you another angle to make it life. And when it was day 10 already, we were like, guys, now we are just counting the days, because we must just count the days. You are fine. When you are healed. And yeah, so she's fine. She's great. She finished her meds. Everything is awesome. She did not have like breathing problems, and well, she came out and told me that, hey bra, actually I lost my sense of, my taste buds were not working, because at the hospital the water tasted like it had sugar. It was like sweet, and the food she was just eating, she did not. And I'm like, but you said, she's like, hey, I know what I said, but now I'm telling you the truth. I'm like, oh, this lady. Whew. So yeah, she's fine. Everything is good. Praise the Lord. We just fetched my siblings 2 days ago. Now the house is not that quiet anymore. Now the house is too loud. Too loud. They are just talking all the time. So we had a session whereby we were talking about our feelings, about like her being sick and stuff, and she got to realize that actually, no man, I was actually very sick, because we told her things that she was not even aware of. She thought she was eating, and I'm like, sis, you and who were eating, because you're not eating. She thought she didn't have an attitude. When I was telling her the stories, she didn't believe it. But I told my siblings, like, please tell me about her attitude. My sister was like, yo, mommy, your attitude, yo, you even had this day. I'm like, I told her that she had this. Like, you would tell my mom, you would ask her, do you want coffee? She would look at you like, I'm like, hey, Wena, no problem, I'm asking you if you want coffee or not. I'm not asking you for pizza. She didn't even notice those things, you know. But as we talked about them, we laugh about this whole situation. Like, hey, bra, fires, but God is good. If there's one thing that you might take from this video, is that God is good, and His grace is sufficient for us. Like, there's many times where I've seen the Lord move, like there's many times, but each and every time that He comes through for me, He leaves me amazed. He leaves me in awe. Like, how do you not be thankful? I don't know. Let me just not start getting. But the goodness of the Lord, guys. This video is very long. I'm so sorry. Anyway, if there is anyone who knows anyone that has the coronavirus, my advice to you is that you guys must pray about it and take all the meds and don't drink cold stuff. Just trust in God that He will come through for you like He did for me. And my heart goes out to each and every family that has lost a member due to this whole pandemic. Like, it's really sad. It's really sad that people, and I don't know, there's something about 2021, man. 2021, like this January, there's just something about it. I don't like it. People are leaving. Like people are leaving. It's not cute. Anyway, before I get emotional, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you did not subscribe to my channel as yet, please do. Please. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, please, and hit that post notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Until next time, bye.